Hey everyone, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name's Christine. I like to read dark and disturbing things, and today we are going to talk about the book mail I got in the month of March. So, you know your girl loves a good subscription book box, and I've been a lot more conscious of what I'm purchasing lately. So I've only got two book boxes to show you. I have the book of the month book box, and I have Nightworms. I've been a lot more conscious of skipping book boxes that I know are books that I'm either not interested in or books that I have arcs of. So this is what I have for this month. Because I only have these two boxes, there are a few other like random books that I have picked up. I think these were probably in February and March because I haven't really been book shopping much. So I will show you those as well, just so we have something else to look at. As much as I love a great surprise in a book box, I have had a lot of, house bills and big things that I've had to pay off. So I have been skipping things. I ended up skipping Aardvark book box, and I am having a little bit of regret because Stephen Graham Jones' new book was in there. And at the time I was like, I know I want this book eventually, but hopefully it will still be there in the future. I just knew I wasn't going to have time to read it this month. So I thought there's no rush to get to it. But I'm hearing great things about that book. Let's open the book of the month book box first. And I will be 100% honest. The only reason I even got anything was because it was the month where if you're their BFF, you get a free book. And unfortunately, you don't just get that book. You have to have it as an add-on to something else. So it's kind of a free book. It's a buy one, get one free book. I mean, it's still cool that they do it, don't get me wrong, but I was not super interested in any of the other of the monthly picks. So I did just kind of pick one that seemed the one that I would enjoy the most. So let's see what I got here. Do I even remember what I picked? No. Oh, wow. Okay. So this was their winner of the Book of the Year award, and I haven't read it. It's The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. It has this little seal on it. It has pink sprayed edges, which I think they showed. Oh, look at the pink drip. I think they showed that on the website, but I wasn't really sure if it was like the one we were gonna get. And it has like, oh, there, this on the back. I have heard good things about this book, but I honestly do not remember what it's about. So let's check it out. A teenager vanishes from her Adirondack, I don't think I said that right, from her Adirondack summer camp. I never know how to say that word. So make fun of me in the comments all you want. Two worlds collide. Early morning, August 1975, a camp counselor discovers an empty bunk. Its occupant, Barbara Van Laar, has gone missing. Barbara isn't just any 13-year-old. She's the daughter of the family that owns the summer camp and employs most of the region's residents. And this isn't the first time a Van Laar child has disappeared. Barbara's older brother simply vanished 14 years ago, never to be found. Why do you keep putting your kids in camp? As a panic search begins, a thrilling drama unfolds, chasing down the layered mysteries of the Van Laar family and the blue-collar community living and working in its shadow. Moore's multi-threaded story invites readers into a rich and gripping dynasty of secrets. Liz Moore's most ambitious and wide-reaching novel yet, The God of the Woods, is a story of inheritance and second chances and the tensions between a family and a community and a history that will not let any of them go. I like the setting of the camp and a child gone missing and dark secrets, but I'm going to be honest, it sounds super generic to me. So let me know in the comments if you've read this. Obviously, a lot of people liked it. It was voted for as the favorite. It looks like this one came out in July of last year. So I will definitely give it a chance. There's just nothing in that description that's super grabbing me right away. But that is The God in the Woods. And then the one that I chose, I believe, was also a thriller. This is Count My Lies by Sophie Stava. And let's see what this one's about. Sloane Caraway is a liar. Harmless lies mostly, to make herself to make her self-proclaimed sad little life a little more interesting. So when Sloane sees a young girl in tears at a park one afternoon, she can't help herself. She tells the girl's very attractive dad she's a nurse and helps him pull a bee stinger from the child's foot. With this lie and chance encounter, Sloane becomes the nanny for the wealthy and privileged household of Jay and Violet Lockhart, the perfect New York couple with a brownstone, a daughter in private school, and summers on Block Island. But maybe Sloane isn't the only one lying, and all that's picture perfect harbors a much dangerous truth. To say anything more is to spoil the most exciting, twisty, bitingly smart suspense novel to come out in years. Careful what you lie for. I do like the premise of a nanny, someone that is an outsider that gets to go into a home and see all of like the secrets and weirdness and just the facade that people put on for everyone else, and kind of gets to be in that drama, but also a little bit on the outside. I do enjoy that. So that's why I ended up picking this one. So let me know if you've read this yet. Shall we open the Nightworms? I know I did skip next month, so I won't be having a Nightworms package for April. Here's me trying to think what month it is. It was a book that I'm interested in, but it is one that I have an arc for, so I decided to skip that one to save a little money. But I do love Nightworms. Nightworms is a horror book box subscription. The two women that run it are very lovely. I love following them on Instagram, and they've got good taste, okay? So let's open this up and see what we got. I actually do know what's in here, but I don't know like the other little goodies in here. So let's check out the little goodies first. We usually get a little bag, sometimes has drinks, stickers, magnets, bookmarks, that kind of thing. The theme for this month is Animal Instincts, and we have this bookmark, which I do actually really like using their bookmarks. We got, it looks like a loose leaf tea. Man, there's like huge chunks of sugar in there. I don't know if you could see that. This says flower and fruit loose leaf tea, lemon slices, chrysanthemum, lily, red goji berry, rock sugar, red rose. I'm not usually the biggest fan of fruity teas because they're like almost like too acidic for me, but I will give it a shot. There's that. Doesn't say what company. We have a sticker. It says a drop of poison. Ooh, I can hypnotize you. I like this one. Ravenous Reader, or Ravenous Reader, I suppose. It has a raven with a dripping eyeball. That's my favorite part. We do have a couple of signed book plates, and it looks like the tea was from the Grateful Tea Company if you were interested. So let's check out our books. The first one, both of these books were books that I had talked about on my video of anticipated releases for this year. I have been breaking it up by quarters. So I did the first 3 months, and soon I will have a video for the next 3 months, but both of these were in that video, so I knew that I was interested in them. The first one is an Augustina Basterica novella. This is the author of Tender is the Flesh. That's the only thing I've read by this author, and this is a translated work, so it has been out in other parts of the world. This one says, from her cell in a mysterious convent, cloistered away from the climate catastrophe that has plunged the world into chaos, a woman writes the story of her life in whatever she can find, discarded ink, dirt, and even her own blood. A lower member of the sacred sisterhood, deemed an unworthy, she dreams of ascending the ranks of the enlightened at the center of the convent and pleasing the forbidding superior sister. But when a strange newcomer joins the ranks of the unworthy, the narrator is forced to consider her long-buried past. As she grows closer to the newcomer, she's increasingly haunted by the questions that she can no longer ignore. How did she get to the secret sisterhood? She can't remember her life before. And what really happens when a woman is chosen to be enlightened? So this looks like some religious nun horror. Translated by Sarah Moses, who is a Canadian writer and translator of French and Spanish. So I did really enjoy Tender is the Flesh, and so I'm looking forward to this one. I do believe that this is also in my friend's book club, Kelly from Kelly Hooked on Books and Crystal from Fiber Artsy. I think this is like one of their quarterly reads, so it'll be cool that if you're reading this one, you can go to their Discord and kind of talk about it with other people. And the other book in here, The Lamb by Lucy Rose. That make you hungry? This one I believe is folk horror, so let's see what it's about. From an incendiary new talent, a contemporary queer folktale about a mother and daughter living in the woods. Oh yeah, I remember this synopsis. Margot and Mama have lived in the forest ever since Margot can remember. When Margot is not at school, they spend quiet days together in their cottage waiting for strangers to knock on their door. Strays, Mama calls them. People who have strayed too far from the road. Mama loves strays. She feeds them wine, keeps them warm. She satisfies her burning appetite by picking apart their bodies. But Mama's want is stronger than her hunger sometimes. And when a beautiful white-toothed stray named Eden turns up in the heart of a snowstorm, Margot must confront the shifting dynamics of her family, untangle her own desires, and make her bid for freedom. With this gothic coming-of-age tale, debut novelist Lucy Rose explores how women swallow their anger, desire, and animal instincts, and wrings the relationship between mother and daughter until blood drips from it. I think I am really gonna like this one. There is a little picture of a tooth there. I don't know, just a single tooth by itself always creeps me out. If I ever have a dream of losing a tooth, it freaks me out. I think I'm really gonna like this one. I'm excited for this one. I know my friend Jen from Literary Love 123 just read this, and I'm pretty sure she enjoyed it. I'm waiting to watch her video, but I am excited for this. All right, and then I have this little stack of books here. One day I went to the independent bookstore by my house, which I don't go to very often, even though it's a wonderful bookstore. It has multiple floors, and their horror section has really filled out over the years. Like, I think the first time I went to it a couple years ago, it had a very small section, and I was very pleasantly surprised to see everything else that was there. But everything there is always full price, and a lot of these books, like, you can get used somewhere. So when I was there, I did buy some books, and then there was a couple that I was interested in purchasing when I was there, and then ended up looking up on Pango to find them used. So I did still support the bookstore, but some of these I got from Pango. So the first one, this was just a random thing I saw on the shelf. I've never heard anyone talk about it that I remember. This is Where the Dead Brides Gather by Nuzo Ono. Sorry if I said that wrong. Beautiful cover. And a lot of times when I go to bookstores, I tend to gravitate towards these little ones that I've never seen before. I'm always excited about the biggest, newest releases, but when I find these little like gems, I want to support the fact that they have these in their store, and I think that they could be hidden gems. So this one, I don't usually care who blurbs the back of these, but right at the top is Tananarive Due. She's my queen, so I'm already excited. And what she said was that this author is a wordsmith who has earned the moniker the Queen of African Horror. So we do have like this character on the front. This says, Bada, a young girl tormented by nightmares, wakes up one night to find herself standing sentinel before her cousin's door. Her cousin is to get married the next morning, but only if she can escape the murderous attack of the ghost bride, who used to be engaged to her groom. A supernatural possession helps Bada battle and vanquish the vengeful ghost bride, and following the botched exorcism, she is transported, I'm going to say this wrong, to Ibajala, the realm of dead brides. There she receives secret powers to fight malevolent ghost brides before being sent back to the human realm, where she must learn to harness her new abilities as she strives to protect those whom she loves. So I was just mostly interested in this because I hadn't heard anything about it before and was interested to check it out. They did have actually a small section of used books, and so I saw Ring Shout there and I picked it up used. This is one I've heard a lot about before. It's another Black horror book, and I haven't gotten a chance to read it. This one's also pretty short. It's under 200 pages. And this one says, in America, demons wear white hoods. In 1915, the birth of a nation casts a spell across America, swelling the Klan's ranks and drinking deep from the darkest thoughts of the white folk. All across the nation they ride, spreading fear and violence among the vulnerable. They plan to bring hell to earth, but even the Ku Kluxes can die. Standing in their way are Maurice Boudreaux and her fellow resistance fighters, a foul-mouthed sharpshooter and Harlem Hellfighter. Armed with blade, bullet, and bomb, they hunt their hunters and send the Klan's demons straight back to hell. But something awful's brewing in Macon, and the war on hell is about to heat up. Can Maurice stop the Klan before it ends the world? I feel like I just heard someone talk about this. I believe they said something like Klan members were actually demons, like kind of a spin on that, which, I mean, they are, aren't they? But like literal demons. So I am interested to check this out. I've heard a lot of great things about this book. I just never had a chance to pick it up yet. And then they had a Stephen Graham Jones book. I've never seen this one just hanging out in person. So I grabbed this one. This is Zombie Bake Off by Stephen Graham Jones. I'm not sure I've heard great things about this one, but I know that my friend Kat does like a zombie readathon every year, and I thought this would be a good choice. So let's see what this one says. There's not much rumbling during the Recipe Day show at the Lubbock Municipal Coliseum, except for stomachs, that is, until the professional wrestlers arrive early for their Saturday night matches. Chaos ensues when the home cooks are overrun by zombie, spelled with an X. I don't know how else you would say that. Zombie, the Hellbillies, and Jersey Devil Jill. So we have wrestling zombies. Like, what more could you want? They're not everyone's idea of fun, especially when the rowdy wrestlers descend on the free donuts brought for the security team and are turned into brain-eating zombies. The night's main event starts early with undead wrestlers squaring off against kitchen divas and soccer moms. As the contagion spreads, a few survivors armed with mixers, booth poles, and a Zamboni must fight to keep the heads on straight and off the menu. This sounds very bizarre and silly and a little bit like maybe he was on drugs when he wrote it. I don't know. But it sounds like a fun time, so I'm ready to check it out. And the last book I got when I was there, they have an amazing children's section, and I feel like every time I go I am instantly drawn to a book, and the book this time was this one. I've never heard of this one either. This is Jax Freeman and the Phantom Shriek by Kwame Mbalia. Sorry if I said that wrong. And I was very much drawn to this character, and when I picked it up, I believe it takes place in Chicago, which is where I'm from, so I was like, okay, an urban fantasy for grade school kids. And I do tend to like a lot of middle grade books. So I will read this one to you. Jax Freeman arrives at Chicago's Union Station alone on his 12th birthday, carrying nothing but the baggage of scandal back in Raleigh, North Carolina. He's been sent away from home to live with relatives he barely knows. But even worse are the strangers who accost him at the train station, including a food vendor who throws dust in his face and a conductor who tries to steal his skin. At his new school, Jax is assigned to a special class for summoners, even though he has no idea what those are, until he accidentally unleashes an angry spirit on school grounds. Soon, Jax is embroiled in all kinds of trouble, from disappearance of a new friend to a full-out war between summoning families. When Jax learns that he isn't the first Freeman to be blamed for a tragedy he didn't cause, he resolves to clear his name and that of his great-great-grandfather, who was a train porter in the 1920s. Jax and his schoolmates follow clues to unlock the secrets of a powerful praise house, evade vengeful ghosts, and discover that Jax may be the most talented summoner of all. A unique magic school fantasy from this best-selling, award-winning author. Oh! He wrote the Tristan Strong trilogy, has just pulled into the station. I was about to say, this is reminding me of two things. One, I haven't read yet, but is the Tristan Strong series. Where do I have it? And the other is it reminds me of the Amari series. So Amari and the Night Brothers, if you're sick of hearing me talk about it, I don't care because I love this book. There's 3 out in the series right now. I haven't read the third one yet. but both my son and I really love this book. And the other one I saw on my friend Crystal's channel, and she says that this is a great book, but I haven't read it yet, is the Tristan Strong series. I love the blending of these genres, middle grade book, coming of age, urban fantasy, kids going to magical schools, but kids who are like kids that I grew up with. So I absolutely am excited for this one. And I need to get my ass in gear and read the Tristan Strong series as well. So if you are into middle grade books, or if you have a middle grader, I highly recommend checking this out, especially, well, obviously this is the one that I read, but I love this book. I think this was a 5-star book for me. I think adults can love it just as much as kids, and mwah, perfection. All right, and the very last book I picked up was because I read The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna last month and I loved it. And I was at Costco of all places, and they had a copy of it with like stenciled edges, or they look like they're like digitally put on there, so they're not like as nice as like books that you get from Fairy or anything. But because I was interested in reading The Nightingale anyway, I ended up picking it up. I won't read the synopsis for this. I know that this has been out forever, but I was excited to read another one. I gotta work on getting the sticker off of the cover. So those are the books that I have gotten semi-recently. So you guys will have to let me know if you've read any of these, or if you're excited about any of them, and if there's any I need to bump up on my TBR. Thank you guys for opening book mail with me. It's always a little bit more fun when I feel like I'm doing it with you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay spooky.